Thank you very much, Minister. Next question will come from Honorable Makwala. Makwala. That's Mkause. Okay. Honorable Mkause. Honorable Mkause is not there. Going. Go on.
What rules is that now? Thank you.
I'm not bothered because you caused the initial problem and then you perpetuate it after telling us that you must try and get on.
No, Chairperson.
But please go ahead.
No, Chairperson, even on the last Landoga, it's there. It's
Please go ahead.
But I'm speaking to the Chairperson. What is the problem? Greetings, Chairperson. Greetings to the Minister. Minister, residents in the areas such as Kagiso and surrounding areas have for years struggling with illegal mines who have turned their area into a crime hotspot. While you and the Department of Community Safety have been silent on action that has been taken against the Zamazamas and the ongoing shootings, why has it taken you so long to find a solution to these ongoing challenges? Thank you.
Minister?
I have said that you are on standby to come in support of the police. I have also stated that it is police responsibility to deal with all internal crime issues. I have also said that we have been studying and looking at what kind of armaments are being used. I've also said that it is not just, we have actually in beginning to deal with this matter, been talking to our counterparts in the neighboring countries where we have identified that these people come from, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and that we have agreed that if we find any of their citizens and they are caught in the crossfire, we have already alerted them. But it would not be true that defense should have jumped in at the first instance. It is not our responsibility, it is a police responsibility. But we serve in the same cluster, so we have been observing. You will also not say that there has nothing that has been happening. In the past, the police were accused of not doing anything. The police were also accused of going after the lower ranks, those who actually get in and smuggle out. But in the recent past, you will acknowledge that the police have been going up the ladder. They have been addressing, arresting, going after, asking for attachment of properties, and for people to face the wrath of the law in the courts of the people who sent in these lower ones inside the mines. We cannot say that we have not been doing anything, because if you rush into anything without preparations, you may actually be coming out with an action that will cause more harm to the people you are trying to protect. So no, honorable member, I will not say that we have been useless and just sitting there. The police have been doing something. What we do need to do, though, is to have a situation where when the police arrest the Zamazamas, the lower courts do not let them walk. Because actually that is what makes South Africans think that the police have not been doing their job, even when they have been arresting and trying to put these people away. So there is that disjuncture which says that the executive part tries to do their job, the judiciary does the other thing. So that discussion, we are asking the head of state to organize so that we can deal with this matter once and for all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Last question will come from Honorable Du Toit. Honorable Du Toit.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Minister, with reference to the initial question and the declaration of a state of emergency by the President, Would you say that in the event of the president declaring a state of emergency, whether the SANDF will be in a position to fulfill its mandate, since it's known fact that the SANDF fleet is not 100% operational, and very little equipment have been maintained and acquired over the past few years, in spite of the fact that the Cuban technicians are working on it. And for the past few years, the bulk of the FANDF's budget was utilized for salaries. And also taking in mind the hundreds of SANDF vehicles that was destroyed in a fire at Valmansdal, and the recent vehicles that were destroyed at Luatla that hasn't been replaced yet. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think that we must debunk what the Honourable Member is saying. I said earlier on that we would be in a position to defend the property of South Africa. The Honourable Member says that hundreds of our equipment was burnt. I wish to, through you, Chairperson, send a list of what was burnt in both Valmansdal, which in Valmansdal was equipment that had actually been standing there for months and probably years, which we should be auctioning and giving out there. In Luatla, I wish to, Chairperson, through you, send a list of what was burnt. So it is not hundreds and hundreds of stuff. It is also not true, Chairperson, that all our equipment are useless and cannot be used. The same member will remember that the Operation Tusano has enabled South African Defence Force to maintain and in some instances even upgrade. We have also not lost the opportunity to train our own sons and daughters, South African young people in the military, to do the same. And you can put what has been done by the Cubans alongside what was done by the South African troops, and you will be proud to see what your own children have done. Therefore, it is absolutely not true that we are completely unable to move and to protect. We do have equipment in storage, which we still need to upgrade and renew. And yes, we have not had enough budget to re-equip and to maintain, because there are instances where we have issues with the original equipment manufacturers when we want parts. But it does not mean that we have been unable at all to be able to move. What happened in July 2021 actually gave us the energy to start going for all of our mothballed equipment in the army and to start refurbishment. But we must also not forget that since 1994, the army has not received anything in the equipment bill. And therefore, in the next round, which we will be proposing to this country after we finish with our defense review, we would think that the army of all of them would be the first in line for replenishing, rejuvenating their equipment and their systems. Thank you, Chair.